Aloha and welcome to Ascension Alliance Hawaii. Today I would like to go across and discuss a few things about the Tucson Gem Show and a few tips and or hacks that you may not be aware of, because I know there's quite a lot of tips and hacks out there when it comes to traveling in general. There's also tips and hacks for the gem show as well. But I think these might be gems that a few people might have missed along the way as they travel and journey to these gem shows. So sit back and let me go through a few. I may have to add on another extension to this via number 2 video. So let's get started. Now, first things first is a first aid kit. Now you can create your own mini first aid kit and add the things that apply to you, the things that you would use and or use on a daily basis. So right here is a very small kit, for example, that I have. It doesn't necessarily have to be the same one, but this kit in here is already pre-made. You can also purchase pre-made kits as well. And on the back side, it shows everything that is in the first aid kit. Now, many people that go to these gem shows don't even think about carrying with them a small first aid kit, but I do. I have a couple different first aid kits that I will go through with you just to show you and give you ideas, and you can create and or purchase your own as well. So for instance, this here is a pre-made, and within it I have added my own items as well in this kit. The kit also came with other items, but I just additionally added everything that I felt that would be needed for this trip and the duration of my trip. So this is a great idea here for you to think about. Another kit you might think about creating is some kind of a smaller bag like this travel bag, and you can add all the necessary items that you use and or think you will need, like sanitizing wipes or hand wipes that come in handy along your trip, as well as anything else extra. These here are compressed towels, so you can just wet them and they will open up to a regular sized towel for you, a small hand towel. So this is great for you that you can just toss after you use it as well and not worry about it. You can add whatever you want in this small type of bag. So create that first aid kit for you that is conducive to you and your trip. Now, another kit that I also create is a spice kit here. And so this is like a holistic first aid kit to me. So I label each one. So this particular container here is super greens powder mix that I add to water. So this is a probiotic that I need on the trip that I take every day. Instead of carrying the huge container that it comes in, I just put the amount that I would need for the duration of my trip. Now the next thing that I do add is baking soda here. Baking soda comes off just like Pepto-Bismol. So I utilize this if my tummy starts getting upset, because baking soda happens to neutralize the acids in your stomach. So I utilize this in water. I use like very little, and I stir it, dissolve it, and I tank it, and my stomach gets right back to its regular, normal functioning self. And so I don't have to worry. But this is basically my holistic first aid kit, and it's just basically, it does the same thing that Pepto-Bismol does, but I have it in a smaller container, and this is the powder. The next one I do have is Hawaiian salt, sea salt. You could use as well. I utilize sea salt in this holistic first aid kit as a gargle Instead of carrying liquid gargles, I utilize sea salt because what it does is it kills bacteria in your mouth. It also strengthens your gums too. So I just add a few of this in warm water, stir it, dissolve it, and gargle away. So this comes in really handy, and it helps a lot, and it does multiple things. Now another spice that I bring is cayenne pepper. So cayenne pepper, you can look that up. It does so many different things, and a lot of these spices here are dual purpose, so I can utilize it in things that I am eating on my travels. I can add spices to kind of mix up what I'm eating and add more flavor as well. That's why I really like this holistic first aid kit as well. And you can also add in vitamins in here, multivitamins. You could add Motrin, aspirin, whatever, pill form that you do take in the event that you don't want to carry the big bottle or even the travel containers. You could just find yourself some of these small containers here and add what you feel is right for you. So I have, what else I have here? I have some more super greens, but I also carry with me clove powder. So clove powder is really excellent in the event that you have a sore tooth, toothache, and you're on the road, you're traveling for whoever, how long, and wherever you are. And this alleviates the pain of your gums. So it numbs the gums. You can look this up. This is all over. A lot of this is basically your old remedies. This is old time remedies that have been around for like years, decades and decades. So look up these spices. I love going into spices. My kitchen cabinet is actually my first aid cabinet. So I turn to that before I turn to any kind of other types of maybe OTC or things that have synthetics in it that my body's like, no, I don't want that. I want something a lot more natural. But this is just me. I'm not a doctor, and disclaimer here. So if you're allergic to any of these, please consult your physician on them first. So this is personally for myself and no one else, but I'm just giving you ideas and alternatives and tips as well that you may want to think about and maybe think about using it as well. Now the next tip that I have here is maybe you might want to carry with you some of these masks here with you in case. You never can tell what will pop up for you while you're away and on the trip. So it wouldn't harm to have a bunch of these stashed in your carry-on and or luggage as well. So mask is one, as well as your gloves. So you never know what you're going to be touching in the gem shows. There's a lot of gems going on there. There's a lot of gems that is toxic as well. I see a lot of people touching the sulfur, that yellow sulfur mineral there, and I'm like, yikes. I would never go by there, smell any of that, nor touch it, or even look at it and carry it, because sulfur is toxic. So a lot of people don't know that sulfur is toxic, but there's a lot of different minerals that is toxic as well. So you might want to look into the toxicities of a lot of different crystals ahead of time before you go on that trip. But stack up on some gloves, and it's very lightweight, and you can just seal this up and put it in your carry-on and or bag or luggage as well. Now sanitizers, a lot of us use hand sanitizers, and it could be in wipes and or liquid form. I prefer the wipes because it's a lot easier to go through the TSA travel checkpoints. So instead of carrying something like this, what I do is I place a lot of them in Ziploc bags. Now when you seal the Ziploc bag, it stays moist and it does not lose that moistness, and it carries on the wet. It's all wet in here still. So you might want to think of using Ziploc bags for a lot of different things, especially if you're tight on time and you can't get to the stores beforehand, before your trip or whatever's, and you forgot to get a bag of something or a bag for something. Remember, you always have these handy Ziploc bags. You could also label it as well with a marsh pen, and there you go. Instead of bringing this, you got it right in here, and then you can just toss it and not worry about it. Now, another thing that I also put in Ziplocs here are my face wipes. Now, this is what my face wipes come in, these packages. So instead of bringing the whole stack here, I just bring the amount that I would need for the duration of the show. So I'm usually there for about a week. So I stack the week amount in a Ziploc, and I don't have to worry about carrying a puffy pack of that as well with me, which clears up more space in my carry-on, my bag, as well as my luggage. Speaking of Ziplocs, you could also put all of your toiletries. You could put your makeup in the Ziplocs. You could put your toothpaste, you could put your toothbrush, your soaps, and everything like that. In the event that something spills, it's going to be all already in the Ziploc. And if you feel the need, you could individually Ziploc different liquid type of bottles that you do have in your Ziploc, so it doesn't spill over onto other things. So there's smaller Ziploc bags to fit whatever needs that you have, but this comes in really handy for the makeup that you have and or any other thing. Now when it comes to toothpaste, I use this toothpaste here. Now instead of taking the entire tube of toothpaste that I've been using daily, weekly, monthly, when the toothpaste starts to get low in the tube, what I do is I cut the tube into that specific level where the toothpaste has become lowered, and that remaining part allows me to take that tube with me on my trip without having to buy travel toothpaste. So it's really, really convenient. So this is how it'll look when you cut the top part here. So as I cut the top part, I still have this part here. And what I do is I cut that off and then I move it down. It's like I bring this top part all the way down here, making sure that whatever is left in the top part that I cut off is scraped down into the lower part of the toothpaste tube. So as I do that, it ends up looking like this. So this is, let's see if I can take this out. So this is how it looks. Whoops. And I just spilled everything. Anyway, this is how it looks. Okay, I cut the top, and then what I do is I just squeeze this part here, but it doesn't get that messy. It's not that messy. I just had the toothpaste kind of like all over the place, so it just kind of flowed out, and then I just push it down like that, which creates a smaller tube of toothpaste. It's really simple, but what I do as well is I slip this into a Ziploc in the event that this pops and or spills as well. Very handy to have. Another thing I do is I always carry a spare reading glasses with me in the event I lose the one that I have on, or I break it. So it's good to have at least 2 to 3 spare reading glasses and or maybe sunglasses or whatever glasses that you do use. And I do take snacks with me. So what I do is I fill Ziplocs with the particular snacks that I do happen to eat and that I do like, so that when I'm on the road going to shows here and there and everywhere, and there's no food trucks or food places, which is nearest to me at the moment, I just bring this out of my bag and I start snacking away. You can make any kind of snack Ziploc bag that you want, granola bars, nuts, all these different types of snacks that would help you along the way. Because I know what it's like when you're going to shows and you're just constantly going and going and going, and you totally forget to eat, and your stomach will just, send you those eating alert signs, and you're gonna have to eventually stop and eat. So feed your stomach with whatever snacks, fruits, whatever healthy snacks that you like. Put it in a Ziploc, throw it in your bag, and go along the way of your shows. Don't forget to always carry water with you, because Tucson in Arizona is a very, very dry state, and you want to have all the essential items that would quell that dryness for your body. You need chapstick, you need to be lotioned up, you need to have a hat, you need everything necessary for that type of climate and or weather, especially water. You need to be hydrating quite a lot in Tucson. Another thing to remember is battery packs. Now there's different types of battery packs: small, large, heavy, light. I have this type of battery pack that I can just plug into the wall wherever I may be, and you can't forget the cords that go with it as well. So I put the cords in Ziplocs and I have it together here, and I slip this in the Ziploc as well, so that I have the necessary devices and the things that I need to charge my phone. And because my phone will run out of charge and I don't want to be on the road and my phone is dead and I don't have a cord with me, I don't have a charging battery with me, a power pack, this is a godsend, especially when you're taking videos, you're doing vlogs, and pictures and what have you. So this is a must to have at all times. Now, when it comes to packing the goods that you actually purchase at these gem shows, do you bring anything with you to pack them? That's something that you might want to think about until waiting till the last minute. What I do is I carry bubble wrap, Ziploc bags, packing tape. I carry all the necessary items that I'm going to need to pack these stones, crystals, tumbles, jewelries, however form it may be. Now, another item that I do bring is takeout containers. I save takeout containers and I clean them out and I take them with me to the gem shows when I come to the Tucson gem shows. So this is like a takeout container here, and what I do is I fill it with all the gemstones or bracelets or whatever it is that I purchase from each show, and I put them in here. I seal them in individual plastic bags, Ziploc bags, small size bags or big bags, and I put them all in this container. Reason being is that in the event that I happen to bring them back home in my luggage and or carry-on, they are all contained and they won't move around, they won't break, and you won't lose them. As well as if you decide to ship everything back via UPS, because UPS is really excellent and they're at several different shows there and they pack and ship. So you can either do by the pallets and or by the individual boxes. You can take all your purchases there and have it shipped. So that's what I do there. So I just bring all different packing containers, packing materials, so that I don't have to go around looking for this stuff while I'm there. This is already with me and I'm already ready to roll, ready to wrap stuff and pack stuff and have it all ready and contained for packing and shipping at any UPS office and or station. I also bring these containers, these craft bead jewelry type of containers here with me. I bring a whole bunch of them in different sizes, different amounts of pockets in them or squares or however. And some of them, if not most of them, what I do is I pack tissue paper in them as well to get them ready for whatever I'm going to be packing in here during the shows. So each one is different and different sizes, so I never know what type or what size of crystals that I'm going to be getting at the shows. So I just toss in that tissue paper in each square, so I have that here stored away, and I can just store whatever crystal in these boxes that fit. So this is great and handy to have as well on hand before the show. Another great tip for you is to carry one of these, a jewelry bag. So this bag is excellent. This is a Chinese satin jewelry bag, and it has several different compartments. So you just unravel it and there you go. So there are a big compartment in here you can put things, and there are also smaller zip compartments here as well. On the top you have one, and on the middle as well as the very bottom. This here, you can store rings here, so you just pop that out like that, and you put the rings right in here, and then you pop that back in the button here like that, and there you go. What you do is you would fold, oh, it came off, yikes. Anyway, you would fold it up like that, and I just wrap it around this way, and I go like that, and there you go. That way your jewelry is secure and it won't scratch or get lost, and it's all contained in one bag. So you might want to look for these or something similar to this. I know they have little jewelry boxes. Those are great as well to have to pack and store those rings, pendants, necklaces, things that you find along the way in the gem shows. So take a lot of things that would help you to pack away and clear up space, make more room in your luggage in the event that you decide to carry a lot of stuff home with you in your luggage, carry-on and or bag. Or you may also decide to just ship it out via UPS. That's what I do because it's a lot more easier for me, a lot more lighter of a load coming back from the trip in my purse, in my carry-on, in my luggages. Coming back, my luggages are light as a feather. It has nothing much. Another tip, another thing that I do is with my shipments in UPS, I take the clothes that I've already used and I ship that back as well, in between all of the different containers and crystals that I take back. So in a sense, it's kind of cushioning everything so it doesn't break and or crack. But UPS is pretty great, and they pack things really well and from inside to out. So I trust them and I trust that, and I've been using them ever since I've been going to the gem shows, and it's just a lot more easier and a lot less headache and have to worry about these things, especially when you're coming back from the shows. You're all beat, you're all tired. I mean, for me, coming back from the shows, I have to take connecting flights. So we're talking about 2 to 3 connecting flights. So I'm pretty beat in and of itself. And I don't want to have to be dealing with heavy luggage, a heavy bag, a heavy carry-on. I don't want to be dealing with any of that. So to avoid that, I just basically ship everything back. I have a few items. I may take back a few gemstones with me, but it's slim picking, very little. I have everything already packed and shipped ahead of time before my flight leaves Tucson. So these are just a few tips and or hacks that maybe you weren't aware of, or maybe you even do it. If you do have any tips and hacks for yourself, please put them down below in the comments so that everyone can see them and share away. That would be greatly appreciated from me as well as everyone else. Other than that, I will probably be making another video about the shows that I have just gotten back from. I just haven't gotten around to editing the videos that I have made, but eventually I will. I'm still recuperating from those shows. I mean, it's huge, and I'm just coming back. I'm like decompressing right now. So anyway, thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please do so, and I will see you in the next video. Aloha.